Hi, this is the Professional Amateur Hour coming to you with another review. This week, I checked out the first season of Hammer and Bolter. And this 2022 streaming show was produced by Games Workshop and stars the animation of Farside Features. So this show is an anthology series, so it has just 9 different little episodes of different stories. And it's all about this kind of universe where everyone is at war all the time and everything's really messed up from this war that's happening across the universe. And so it follows humans, it follows aliens and some other aliens and all the other aliens as well. This is based on this little game as well. So it has little figurines and they fight by rolling dice. And so you might know it. It's just an expansion of that, but let's talk about it. All right, so let's discuss this TV show. Well, like I said, it is based on this Warhammer universe, and so that has lots of kind of backstory and lore to it. And if you do read the books and whatever, it usually focuses more on kind of human stories. However, this one actually features a bunch of non-human stories or alien stories. And so they have one where it's the orcs, and it's a whole episode dedicated to the orcs. There's a whole episode dedicated to the Andalari and a whole episode just for chaos as well. And so I actually enjoy all of the different kind of species of aliens that they go into because they have their own different cultures and all that type of stuff. Even with the humans have kind of 4 different personalities or sub-races or whatever you want to call them in this universe. So there's the guardsmen, which are just regular guys, and they have a whole story about that. I really did enjoy that one. It's called Cadia Stands, and that's a lore heavy thing as well. But I thought it was a really interesting kind of take on the psychology of these guys about how they always have to stand up straight because Cadia stands, They have the superhuman big guys in power suits, and that's fun to see. They're very kind of brutal and violent. They have the assassins. I actually was really surprised to see assassins even within the first episode. I never imagined they would do the assassins because they are kind of a more kind of niche, I would say, aspect of the lore, but they actually do it, and it covers a pretty good story as well that I really enjoyed. And then finally, there's the Mechanicus, which is people who replace all their body parts with robot parts until they're eventually just 100% robot, but still maintain their humanity. And they have a whole story as well, and I really like that and how they kind of interact with the machines around them, and that was really cool. They don't write programs, they kind of write prayers, and they're always praying to the machine spirit and stuff. And so there's lots of good episodes in this one, lots of very interesting kind of concepts and fun things like that. And so I gotta say, I just had fun with a lot of the episodes, and I would actually say the majority of episodes were decent enough for me to really enjoy them. So that is definitely good. And so going into this, I did have a general understanding of the lore and what goes on. And this one, I think, just kind of filled in the gaps for me. I don't particularly have background in, their day-to-day life or their interactions or that type of stuff or how they pray. There's actually one really good one. I think lots of people are going to hate it, but it's about this psyker who is in, or psyker is a psychic person who is in this library, and his job is just to count the books, but he's never allowed to read them. And I thought that one was really interesting and kind of filled in kind of the process and how people live their lives in this universe. And so there's lots of things that filled in the gaps for me personally. So that was just I don't know, entertaining and interesting, more importantly. All right, so what doesn't work with this show? Well, I gotta say the animation is a little bit janky sometimes. What I mean by that is it's all beautifully drawn, but then it's not very fluid. So they'll have their head talking to someone, and then to talk to the next person, their head will just flip with no turning animation. If I can find it, I'll clip it in here for you.
Inquisitor Arturo has docked. He's waiting for you in the receiving chamber. He's come to escort you to Terra.
So it does have this kind of lower frame production quality to it. And even when some characters are just speaking, like if it's just like two characters, it will just be like their mouths will move and like none of the other frame will move. It's just their mouths. Of course, that's just to save money, I know, but yeah, it's just kind of not what I would expect from like a Games Workshop quality type of thing. So that could have definitely been improved, just have more fluid animation. Also, I think they kind of like nail the atmosphere of the Warhammer 40,000 universe. It's very like grim, very dark. Everything is about, you know, the war and whatnot. So I do think they have that atmosphere that you can come to expect from kind of this world. And so if you are like a passing fan or even like a super fan, yeah, try to check this out. So who would I recommend this show for? Well, I think if you have any knowledge of Warhammer and you want some sci-fi in your life, then yeah, go for it. I definitely think it's very kind of consumer friendly. It's very consumable media. And so it is just like 3 hours of consumable media for you if you know, like that Warhammer kind of production. If you're just in it for, you know, grim, dark sci-fi, yeah, it's also perfectly fine for you as well. As for rating, I'm going to give it the average score of 5. And with that being said, I think that's all I wanted to say. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.